Musicians Viewpoints. This podcast is by and for local musicians in all localities. I'm your host, Kevin Ronkko. Hey, welcome to Musicians Viewpoints. Once again, my name is Kevin Ronkko, and I'm here to entertain you, educate you, give you ideas, tell you what I'm doing, try to get this local music scene thriving. And so let's get right to it. So speaking of the local music scene thriving, on December 23rd at Old World Deli, we have the Gene Gregg Band playing. And that should be exciting. I'm hoping to be there. I can't make any promises because I'm starting a new day job, which I'm excited about. However, I'm still passionate about music. My goal is to continue with music. I have the New Normal Jazz Ensemble still going. We are still active and playing with Corby Simpson on bass, Colleen Kitchen on keyboards and vocals, myself on drums and vocals. I do a Mean Blue Sky, Irving Berlin. So check us out. Also, I'm still active with the Gusto Brothers. So some stuff will be going on with them this upcoming year. Looking forward to that stuff. And my solo stuff is doing well. I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. So the next part of what I want to talk about today is I need guests on this show. I don't mind coming on here and talking to myself in thin air and hoping everyone is listening. I don't mind that at all. I hear all kinds of people doing it on their podcasts. Tim Dillon, all these people, they're great. I'm inspired. I can talk into thin air too. I love it. I'm not as talented at it as some of these professionals are, but I'm learning. I can do it. If no one wants to be on the show, I'll get up here and talk. I promise you I will do that. But that is not what or why I started this podcast. I started it to bring musicians on, to talk to them, to let them tell their story, for me to get out of the way, to let them talk. And I've been doing that. It's been working. But I don't know if I'm not communicating enough that I really, really, really need the guests in order to make this thing work, as fully as I envisioned. Or, maybe season 2 is just me talking a lot. But either way, this podcast will continue. I do think it's worth it. So, since I'm here to talk about myself, I will do that. So I have new music. I've been creating a lot of new music lately, especially in the last couple of weeks. I had to do an emergency job search, so I won't go into all the details, but that took a lot of my time and effort and attention, which is why the podcast has been kind of on hold. So once I had my day job secured again, I could think about music because, let's face it, the corporations have made it so musicians can't make any money at writing music, really, unless you happen to be Britney Spears or Miley Cyrus or somebody like that. And the price of everything's gone up. So we all know this, so I'm not going to go on about that. Anyway, I've got some new music, and this song that I wrote, I will play at the end of the podcast. I'll talk about it later, but I'm very excited about it. It's called Every Day is Christmas Around Here, and the idea of the song came to me last Saturday. I just got home. My wife and I had gotten groceries, and all of a sudden, I had this image flash into my head of something my mother said to me one day. Well, I think it was in the summer, actually. And she just said, every day is Christmas around here. Or, in her, main accent, every day is Christmas around here. But anyway, yeah, I don't know why I thought of that, but it just popped into my head. Not something she said all the time, but for whatever reason, one day she said it to me, and I spoke to her on Sunday about this, and she said that she thinks it was because somebody who at the time tended to worry a lot, and I got to thinking about that, and I thought, well, I think I still worry about things probably too much, but we all do. So anyway, that's the origin of the song, Every Day is Christmas Around Here, and the song is not meant to be a bummer. It's actually the opposite. It's supposed to be uplifting. And also a reminder that, people in December have put so much pressure on themselves to feel like they have to give and give and give. All month of December, people are so stressed out about this social pressure to give and, to spend money on others. And I think that's good, too. But it can be a year-round thing where you have that spirit of giving in you by nature. So it's more relaxed. And that's where this song comes in that you just feel a joy for just being there, helping community, giving to others in however you can, and maybe not material ways, but just to give yourself, give your time, give your heart, give your love, these kinds of things. So this brings me to a new topic. I'll come back to that song because we're going to play it at the end. But the new topic is how I, got inspired to be writing all these crazy lyrics and stuff that I do. Then I put them into weird music. And sometimes I write the music first and the lyrics. And sometimes I just write instrumental stuff that's totally electronic. And I have no intention of doing anything else with it other than, hey, listen to this. And then other things I write inspired, maybe things I've read or seen on TV or saw in a book or wherever. Nothing we don't create in a vacuum. But anyway, I went to see Willie Locos one time in person, and he just walked up to the front of the group. We were all watching him, excited to hear what he had to say. And he had this little notebook, and he opened it up. Willie Locos is the author of, or the writer of, Dirty Water. Love that Dirty Water. However, he wrote a lot of stuff. He was, actually a legitimate writer. He wrote a lot of stuff. Anyway, so he came up to the front of the room and he showed this notebook, and he had a lot of unfinished stuff, and he was just kind of sharing some lyrics that he'd written, just reading them to us. So I thought I'd do that with a couple things to show you the difference of what I've written in a year. So last year, in the month of December, I wrote this thing called The Time Traveler. And I'll just read a little bit of it. It goes, "It has been said that thinking is the best way to travel. The past and future are real locations, places we can travel to. We rely on our imagination to see the future, potentially, while we can travel to our past to reimagine what once was. What time is it, time traveler? Can we really know what a clock even is? While time is thought to be the fourth dimension, it is also a destiny. Go down your wormhole, the one in your brain. See the past in order to see a possible future. In the fluctuations of the present time, we find ourselves traveling to our past. We study. We learn. Ultimately, we take those lessons and we learn how to predict better outcomes towards our future. We create our future. Keep on thinking. Keep on traveling. Keep on trying. So, I just read the whole thing. Okay. So, there's that one. Now I'll compare that to what I wrote almost a year later. This was in very late October, almost November. This one's called Get Up and Dance. This symphony of sound, get it in your soul right now. It's the dirty, the dirty, low down. Join this party and don't be tardy. Just slip and slide. Don't you be denied. No matter how far or wide, it's a point of pride. Get up and dance. Dance into the night of sparkle, the night of stars, the night of moon. Get up and dance. Get up and dance. The time is ripe. It's time to see the light. Step into the night, feeling so right, so high. So that was almost a year later from the first one. I see a big difference there. The time traveler being, I was still kind of in that pandemic mode where there wasn't enough to do, not enough places to go, not enough bands playing. And we're in this time traveler kind of, our past was kind of our present. Just too much time examining our own histories and every little nook and cranny of our lives and wondering what the heck was going on. Are we all doomed? Is this it? And then almost a year later, get up and dance. I'm feeling active. I'm feeling, I think things are changing for the better. Till the big earthquake. Who knows? So anyway, well, thanks to Willie Locos, I've been keeping a journal of these things. Okay, so this podcast is going to be kind of short because I didn't start this podcast to talk about myself or to burden people with my stuff. It's definitely not a therapy session for me. So I'm here for you. That's what this podcast is for. This is Musicians' Viewpoints. And this is about helping local music and giving it a voice. I hope people can appreciate that. So, on that note, back to Every Day is Christmas. Thanks to my mother for giving me the inspiration for the hook on this song. Every day is Christmas around here. Living in Maine, growing up in North Norway, Maine, out in the woods, on the dirt road, and figuring out what life is going to be like as we moved on. So anyway, every day is a new opportunity to open your heart up and, just be a loving, caring individual like we do on holidays. We can just, we can move away from the stress and the baloney of everyday life and just realize that it's all going to be okay. We all love each other. We're going to get through this. Anyway, I do want to wish everyone a happy rest of their holiday season. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Halloween was fun. And anyway, I hope your Christmas is good and your New Year's too. And I probably won't talk to you again until the next year. So Happy New Year. And on that note, here's Every Day is Christmas around here. When I was a kid, my mother looked at me one time. She wanted to explain a larger point in life. She said, the lights come on when we flick the switch, and in cold weather on the heater kicks, we can shelter from the heat in the dark days of summer, and the toilet flushes at the easiest touch, 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 touch. And we aren't living in totalitarian Russia, with 3 frozen pizzas in the freezer, and all that we is a greed. Every day is Christmas around here. Every day is Christmas around here. Every day is Christmas around here. Our love's the strong slide in times of strife. I don't need to feed the greed of forces that don't care about our lives. Every day is Christmas around here. 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 Every day is Christmas around here.